Hi, beautiful people. This is Shakti coming at you live. I hope you had a good day, a really good day. And I want to share something with you. My mind is blown away. Like, did you see that? What happened? Did you see? Did you read the news? Have you been seeing all over your feed? There are fires taking place in Los Angeles. There's a snowstorm taking place in Texas. There's like windstorm taking place, which is creating fires. And what are the odds? I mean, number one, actually, I hope you're okay. I hope your loved ones are okay. And if you are in LA or Texas areas where you're impacted, please let us know so that we can hold space for you and offer our prayers for your safety. And I want to come to why my mind is so blown away. Are you seeing this? Like, this is so crazy. For the last 7 days, I have been coming on live, and at the end of every live, I've been talking to you about one thing, and that is the Eye of the Storm, the program I'm leading. It's a 3-day journey that I started facilitating this morning. And last night, I heard there are 2 storms taking place in the country right now. What are the odds of this? This just like blows my mind away. And as hard as the situation is, but to have my work line up to really support the collective energy, to support people navigating, chaos and personal storms and these external storms in their life, I really wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm just taking a moment to really bow down to the spirit in this perfect design of what gets created and when it gets offered and how it's offered and what comes in the curriculum. There's such powerful co-creation that takes place, and what a joy it is actually to create something so relevant and so meaningful for our time today, right? Like, can you imagine the impact of this work? I'm just completely blown away. And I will tell you a little backstory. I got the guidance of creating this body of work. The Eye of the Storm they were not my words. They didn't come from a mental space of logic and what is going to be marketable. None of that. I sat in meditation, did my deep healing work. You all been hearing about me going through my, dark night of the soul. It was one of those times when I was doing deep healing work. And once I had the name really channeled and transmitted to me, I had the curriculum downloaded, and I was initially planning on offering this work December 31st and January 1st. I couldn't because it just didn't leave me enough time to market it. And guess what? There was a storm taking place here where I live. So I decided not to offer it at that point because I actually tend to lose internet connection anytime there's snowstorm that takes place here, which is what happened December 31st and January 1st. Then I thought of offering it, January 3rd, and then the same thing. We had so much rain we got during that time. And then I was actually going to offer this program January 13th, which is going to be next week. And I cannot tell you, in that moment, as I was like making that decision, I felt such deep aversion in my body, like, heck nah, no, I cannot offer it at that point. I did not know why I had such a strong reaction to that time, but I was so clear, my body was so clear, Shakti, we're gonna have to do it way before the, 11th, 12th mark, way before that. And after that, we're gonna move on to something else, like there's other stuff coming up. And I could have not trusted this nudge. I could have not trusted any of this. But it just felt so right and so freeing for me in the moment to trust the timing of it. And that's when I decided January 8th and 9th and 10th. And, rest is history. last night I was watching a movie and prepping my field for this body of work, and somehow I caught the news that there are fires taking place, and it's just, again, I'm in deep gratitude. I mean, as again, this is so hard, and I know so many people are impacted and going through this, but for me to be able to plug in my work as a prayer for the collective and to hold space for people who are impacted both at a personal level and at the external level, I think is such a blessing. It is the need of this hour right now, and the divine co-creation. This is divine co-creation at its best. Like, so spectacular, so impeccable. Today we got to kick off the Eye of the Storm, day 1, and there was a beautiful, powerful transmission that came forward. And tomorrow we're actually going in a deep activation tomorrow. So we're gonna be actually working at the subconscious mind level, and we're going to open up our mind where it gets disassociated, our body gets disassociated, our mind gets in a hyperactive mode, anywhere we don't feel safe at the mental level, to embark on growth and to find our own power center in the time of chaos. We're going to work through that. We're going to work through our emotions. We're going to work through we're going to reconnect with the voice of the truth, voice of your truth, voice of your wisdom, and have you lean into the guidance of how, any chaos in your life, any personal growth in your life is serving you. And this is the place where so many people, especially my clients, get so much clarity out of this process. And the process, I guide them deep in a state of, trance, working through their subconscious mind. This is where new clarity comes in. People come all the time, work with me in these sessions, and the next thing they know, I know, like, their business model changed, or their launches become bigger, or their offer changes and new clarity come in, or they start channeling some new program information. So I am just excited to see what comes up on the other side of tomorrow's process. And if you feel like joining us, this is still not too late. You can still join us, get the replay for day 1, join us live on day 2, or get replays for all 3 days, and that is still going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to get just as much, honestly, the same amount of value, and even more when you have your own personal space to dive into the conversations and the processes. So if that's you, let me know, and I'll send you the link, and would love to have you be a part of this journey. I think this is the time to go dive into it and, really get a hold on the 2025, really start to create the momentum that you have been longing for. Because I know so many of you in this group have really massive goals. I see you, whether you say that or not, whether you share your goals with others or not, whether you're like keeping them on the side. I know, I can feel the energy of this group. I know there's big stuff cooking up collectively for all of us, and super excited to see what's about to come in your business and in your personal life this year. I want to talk to you about the importance of playing all out, going all out in your business, in your creations, in your offerings, in your money space. And I want to leave you today. Playing all out is such a cool concept, right? Like, when you hear it, you're like, I want to be a kid and I want to play all out. Now, I want to give you a tool for discernment. How do you know when you're not playing full out? So, and I don't know much about this, but my kids love playing Minecraft. And I don't know if you're familiar with Minecraft or not. I'm not super familiar with it. But in Minecraft, it's like a video game. They have a Nintendo Switch, and they load the game, and then they go in Minecraft and they create different things in Minecraft. So I want to What I want to tell you about Minecraft, there's so much to share, which I am also not the most knowledgeable person, but one thing that I want to share with you about Minecraft is that it has two modes. There's one mode called survival mode, and there's one mode called creative mode. Creator mode or creative mode. In the survival mode, you cannot die. So you play Minecraft, and when you play Minecraft in the survival mode, you don't die. And in the creative mode, you have access to so many features, and you create a lot of stuff. So when somebody is a beginner and they play on Minecraft for the first time, people tend to be risk averse and they go on the survival mode, and then they make sure that they don't die while playing Minecraft. Our business is actually like that too. In our business, there are two modes. One is a survival mode and one is a creator mode. In the survival mode, you can operate and you can really be safe. And you can really solve for you sleeping well, you feeling well, you waking up good, feeling healthy, all of that. But in the survival mode in your business, there's not much space to actually create stuff that feels so juicy and exciting. And there is creator mode where you have access to all your inspiration, your ideas, your juice, your aliveness. You're not just waking up, getting out of bed to survive, to just have an okay day. You're actually getting out of bed to do something so exciting, to really blow your mind away, to really offer something so meaningful to your audience, to your community, to your clients. And there is such a deep sense of service and deep sense of, I want to create the most spectacular experience that I can today. That's why I'm waking out of bed. And this is where your life feels like, whoa, like I'm just loving what I'm doing, what I'm creating, and I'm loving myself as a person, as a leader in how I show up. Your respect for yourself skyrockets. Your love for yourself, your validation, your confidence, everything skyrockets. And that is the contrast I want to share with you. There's one survival mode and then there's one creator mode. It's easy to survive in the survival mode. You can do that really well. But the juice of life is in the creator mode. And in 2025, the market we are entering wants innovation. This market and the innovation, don't get me wrong, innovation is not in this year, is not about who has the brightest idea in the room. The innovation is about how different you are, how diverse your perspective is, how you think and how you see the world, and what value from that perspective do you bring forward for your people. And that is where the diversity in idea is. That is where your innovation is, because in this world there's only one person who actually thinks like you, and that is you. There's no one else who thinks like you. There's only one person. And in this year, simply surviving is not going to cut it. In this year, stepping into that creator mode is the highest calling. And I will tell you, I know how hard it has been to get to that place, but this year the world is ready for you. I will tell you, how do you know if you are in the survivor mode? Is by you really having an honest conversation and asking yourself, am I filled with the excitement for my business? Am I feeling so excited to move forward in my business. And if there's any reason why that excitement isn't there, that is your invitation to recognize that this where you're playing the game is a survival game. It's not actually a creator game. And the creator game is where your pot of gold is, at least this year. And I will tell you, I see clients come all the time wanting to be in that zone, but coming from that zone. A lot of you are doing work very differently. You come from family backgrounds, you come from ancestry where your ancestors did not do the work that you're doing now. In the way that you're wanting to make money hasn't been made money before, from your wisdom, from your belief, from your trust, from your perspective, from being paid for your intelligence that is different than the world. Your ancestors lived a very different life. And when your human self, doesn't know how your path can be so different, it's going to plug in information from the ancestry and genetics and the DNA, because it just doesn't know how different your path is. And this is where going deep into energetics can be so helpful, because then you start tapping into your information. Your information as a being across lifetimes, across dimensions, you as a soul hold so much limitless knowledge and intelligence, and you start accessing that, and you start really bringing it in your space, and really bring your body in a flow state where things move out, outdated information moves out, and you start tapping into more of present time. What is your intelligence? Where is your intelligence shining in present time? And you start really tapping into those sources. So I want to invite you to really consider, are you playing in the survival mode, or you're playing in the creator mode? And if you are in survival, please know there's no judgment. There's zero judgment here. We all go in and out of these modes. Our game changes all the time, and that's where our deepest power is, to be able to recognize what's happening, where you want to go, and finding a way to get you there. And if energetics is my complete wheelhouse here. I love it's my jam. It's something I'm just so deeply passionate about, because I see people do this all the time. When people step into more of who they are and they go in with complete trust in their self, there's absolutely no obstacle, there's no limit to what they can experience, what they can create. I have seen people taken their marriages that just don't work and falling apart, and completely turn it around into marriages that where both people feel like they're fallen in love for each other, and they're just completely smitten. I have seen leaders going from a place of, I don't have excitement, completely surviving, feeling depressed, feeling sad for all stuff that's happening in their life, to signing up 4 clients right the next week. Anything is possible. And if you are somebody who's so committed to making 2025 your best year, I want to invite you to play that creator game. It's hella fun. It's so much more fun. It's exciting. It's going to fill you in with so much of your own aliveness, your own creativity, your own, where you can look back and like, I created this. Heck, I love myself. And that's the confidence I would love to see you owning this year. Well, the invitation to Eye of the Storm is open. Please watch this replay. If you missed it, learn more about it, how the timing of Eye of the Storm is actually meeting what's happening in the collective with the wildfires and windstorm and snowstorm taking place across the country. And if that calls you, I would love to have you. The replays are ready for you, and I think you're going to get so much out of this journey, because we're really ripe for a transformation right now. We're all going through this, and I see you, and I know you're built for greatness here. Don't settle. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.